morning, Paige here with m.a.b.e.l, and I wanted to talk about the process I use to create my Maker Caddies. These are my Maker Caddies. This is the large size, and I make the caddies after I'm finished cutting the quilt jackets and the quilt tops. I work from small to large, so I cut the biggest pieces first and then I move on from there. So this is what a large caddy looks like. It's meant to just sit open by your side and contain all your knitting or stitching or any sort of handwork you do. It also works for toys and things like that. Anyways, so after I cut a quilt, and for example, like this is a really damaged quilt, and you can see there's some holes in it, so I have to patch that up. After I cut the quilt into the pieces I use for the jacket, I need not such big pieces for the caddies. Like this is a 15 by 18 piece, that makes my large piece. And I still have to do some darning. I don't know if you can see it, but there were some tears on the front of this. And so I just did some darning back and forth. And then I use a canvas cut to the same size, and you'll see later on how I sew them together. So the caddies they're like potato chips. You can't just make one of them. They're super easy to do. And you'll be seeing these next weekend at Wool Folk and then Rhinebeck. So the New York State Sheep and Wool Festival. So hope to see you there, and maybe you can score some of these caddies too. I am sorting my caddies by size. I do like to batch things out. It just makes me feel like I've accomplished something. So I'm sorting the caddies by size, small, medium, and large. And then I will tackle it size by size. I will probably start with the smalls just because those can be the trickiest, just because of the sizes. It's not a caddy. Large, large, large. Oh my goodness, there are so many. These are all larges. All right, so I'm gonna start with my small pile of smalls. 1, 2. And I need tricks, clips, and my snips, and I will go over to the sewing machine. I'm going to batch sew these, which means I'm going to do all of this one step over all of the pieces and then just go step by step. I think you've seen me make these before, but it involves attaching the handles, the lining to the quilt, boxing the corners, and then turning everything inside out and doing some top stitching. So here we go. So I finished attaching the handles to both sides and made a little bit of a sandwich between the quilt piece, the handles, and the lining. Now I fold the pieces back on themselves and I stitch up the sides. I leave a little bit of a gap in the middle of one of the lining pieces so I can turn the bag inside out when I'm ready. So now I've got all of the pieces with the handles sewn to them. So I have the quilt piece with the sandwich, the handles as the sandwich, and then the lining. I then fold the pieces, the lining piece and the quilt piece, back on itself so that it meets in the middle, and I stitch down the two sides. One of the lining pieces, I leave a gap of a couple of inches so I can turn the bag right side out when I am done boxing the corners. So there, I need to leave the gap. Then I go to this side. This side does not need a gap. After I have done this for all the pieces, I will go ahead and box the corner. So I make a triangle with the seam at the center of the triangle. For this bag, I'm going to sew about 1 inch down from the top. I do this on all 4 corners. After I do that, I trim the corners, leaving, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. I also trim where it meets in the middle because I have to fold that back and top stitch around the top of the bag, and it gets a little bulky there. And then I bring the lining and the bag through that little hole that I left in the lining. There's that. I sew up this seam by tucking the seam allowance into the inside of the bag. And I back stitch at both the front end and the back end of that just to make it secure. The canvas is really stringy, so you want to make sure to get all those pieces out. This is a project that you do not need an industrial sewing machine for. You can totally do this on your home machine. It will be a little bit easier to sew if the quilt is not a super thick quilt, like a winter weight quilt. But if you've got a thinner quilt, or even a summer weight quilt that doesn't have batting, you can totally do that. This quilt did not have batting, and I did not use interfacing because I use a 10-ounce canvas, which has a lot of structure, so it allows the caddy to stand up even though I did not put interfacing in there. Then I just sort of press this knife, not press this, but sort of push the corners back in where they need to go. I fold along the edge nicely because now I am going to top stitch around the perimeter of the quilt. And that's why I cut the seam allowance where it met in the middle, because that can get really bulky. And don't need that. There we go. And so then I just go along nicely. If you're top stitching on a home machine, and I am doing this from the inside because I like the way it works with the quilt, the feed dogs work with the quilt better. But you also want to have a longer stitch length when you're top stitching, so set it to about maybe 4 to get a really nice pretty top stitch. Back stitch at the end, cut the little pieces there, and there you go. You've got just a cute little grab and go caddy. Also perfect for like little trips to the store when you don't need your whole tote bag. Here is the first of 45 or so caddies that I will be bringing up to Wool Folk and Rhinebeck the weekend of the 20th of October. So wish me luck, as I've got a lot of sewing to get done today.